In the past 4.5 years, nearly 40,000 people have been killed in Mexico's battle against powerful drug cartels. The violence and corruption is now appearing in places that would have been unthinkable just a few years ago. Places like Santiago, a quaint tourist town just a few hours from the U.S. border. Last August, Santiago's mayor, Ramiro Cavazos, was kidnapped and killed. To understand what's happening in Mexico, you need to understand what happened in Santiago. As we first told you in January, there and elsewhere around the country, drug cartels, armed with guns and cash, are forcing a choice on politicians and law enforcement. That choice, as beleaguered Mexicans put it, is between silver or lead. Take a bribe or a bullet.
The story will continue in a moment.
Tell me about your husband.
A very special man. I'm still in love with him.
Veronica Cavazos and her husband, Ramiro, were enjoying a good life, raising 3 children. He was a successful lawyer with a family-run real estate business. Then in November 2009, at the age of 38, Cavazos was elected mayor of Santiago, a picturesque town where he and his wife grew up. Born to be mayor, you think?
Probably. He had this special light, this special feeling of helping people since he was a kid.
But Veronica was worried.
It was a dangerous time to be the mayor, in my opinion.
He was well known. You all were comfortable financially. So why do this?
And you know what his answer was? If there is something I can do to help my town, to help my people, and that's the way, I'll do it.
Cavazos was eager and everywhere. He could be found with a smile at civic presentations and at every improvement project. He had no apprehension about the job.
No, he was a dreamer, I think.
A dreamer, your husband. What did he dream for Santiago?
A perfect place for his kids.
Santiago dates back to the 1600s. Its history and natural setting make it a popular tourist destination. But beneath the postcard appearance is another Santiago, a place important to drug traffickers. The town straddles a major highway from the drug-producing regions of southern Mexico and South America. Controlling Santiago makes it easier to move shipments north to Monterrey. From there, the marijuana, cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamines are shipped to cities on the border 3 hours away and smuggled into the United States.
So from that place, you can go anywhere in the border.
So in many ways, the drug world intersects at Santiago.
Exactly.
Ramon Garza has been an investigative journalist in Mexico for 35 years. He says Santiago became a safe haven for wealthy drug cartel bosses who blended in with the town's other wealthy residents.
It's a place where you can hide your activities because it's a place for tourism, for nice homes, for weekends.
And for years, the drug trafficking organization in control of the region, including Monterrey and Santiago, was the Gulf Cartel. Their enforcers, the Zetas, a ruthless gang that started with former army officers from Mexico's elite special forces. Hired guns.
Hired guns.
Well-trained hired guns.
Well-trained. They were like a SWAT.
Trained originally to go after the cartel.
Exactly.
And now they're part of the cartel.
Exactly. They became the army for the cartels.
In February 2010, only 3 months after becoming mayor, Cavazos was caught in a feud when the two cartels split. By then, many of Santiago's police were on the payroll for one of the cartels. Cavazos later disciplined some of the officers for extortion. So Cavazos thought he was in control of everything.
He wanted to be in control of everything.
But he wasn't.
He knew that he was not in control, because I had a chance to talk to him several months before his killing. He was worried of the police department.
Worried because of the corruption?
Of the corruption. He didn't know exactly who did they work for.
He's not willing to look the other way.
He wanted the police department to be the cleanest possible, not to be involved with the group of the cartels. That's what he wanted.
And that was dangerous to want that?
Well, because at that moment, the police department didn't belong exactly to the mayor or to the county.
So their uniform may have said Santiago Police Department.
Exactly. But in reality, they were working for the cartels.
Mexico's 4.5-year war against drug trafficking has led to chaos and bloodshed. Many of the nearly 40,000 drug-related deaths are due to the criminals killing each other. But not always.
I was worried about him. Everybody was. My mother-in-law also was worried about his life.
If Cavazos was worried, he never told his family. Last August 15th, the mayor was in Santiago's town square celebrating International Youth Day. It was the last time townspeople would see him alive. With his family visiting relatives in Texas, Cavazos went home to an empty house. A security camera captured what happened next. We've sped up the video. It shows the police officer who guarded the house at night walking towards an approaching line of cars. When they pulled up to the front, armed men got out. Another camera caught the gunman threatening Cavazos at the door. Moments later, he was pushed into the back seat of the lead vehicle. The police guard walked to the car behind and got inside. In less than 3 minutes, the kidnapping was over.
The surveillance camera at his house, how important was that to your investigation?
Very important, very important.
When we met him, Alejandro Garza y Garza was the Attorney General for the state of Nuevo León, the lead agency in the Cavazos investigation. He says when the police guard was found the next morning, he claimed he was also a victim.
And he said he has been kidnapped with his mayor.
But the video showed he had not been kidnapped.
That's right, that's right.
At the Cavazos home, family waited hours by the phone for a ransom demand. None was made.
When I saw that this wasn't for money, I suspected that this wouldn't have a happy ending. Because he loved his town so much. And since the beginning, he wanted to do the things right.
He would not negotiate.
No.
He would not be bought.
That's exactly what happened.
2 days after he was kidnapped, the body of Edomiro Cavazos was found dumped by the side of a road in Santiago.
Were they trying to send a message in the way in which they killed him, in the place in which they dumped his body?
The message of the bad people is that we don't stop with anybody. We can kill people, we can kill policemen, we can kill mayors, we can kill everybody.
Santiago was stunned when state investigators arrested 6 of the town's police officers for their alleged role in his kidnapping and murder, including the man assigned to protect the Cavazos home. The state's case against the officers rests heavily on their confessions.
We have testimony of 6 or 7 policemen that say that they thought he was working for the other cartel. Mayor Cavazos was against them, so that's why they killed him.
When they captured some of the persons that were involved, they said that to the authorities. He didn't want us to do our job, so he was like a rock on the way, and we just took him away.
The rock in the way.
For them. For the rest of the town, and for me, it was our light.
By week's end, the people of Santiago were back in the town square to pay their final respects to the mayor. Earlier, his wife Veronica had bid a private farewell.
I thank him. I thank him.
You thanked him? For?
For all the happy moments we lived together. For my 3 kids. For letting me being a witness of all the good things he made through life.
Santiago today is sad and fearful, and tourists are staying away. Journalist Ramon Garza says another casualty of the drug war is trust.
How many people want to work at the police department in Santiago now?
Long line of people applying for jobs?
No. Nobody wants to be a police anymore here. Why? Because they know if they have to go, they got to go of silver or lead.
Silver or lead?
Yes.
Either you take the money and live, or reject the money and die.
Exactly.
Taking the money from the drug cartels has been an easy choice for many police officers. with starting salaries at only $500 a month.
They are very easy to be corrupt.
Because the cartels can pay more.
Much more.
How much more?
Double.
Jorge Domine is director of public security in the state of Nuevo León. He says that for now, the drug cartels hold the upper hand with both silver and lead.
There's no police in Mexico that can fight the cartels in terms of the level of equipment they have.
What kind of equipment would a police officer in Santiago have?
Pistol, that's it.
The cartels, what do they carry?
You name it. Whatever comes to your mind, they have it. AK-47, AR-15.
So it sounds like local police are bringing a pocket knife to a gunfight.
Right. You're like Tarzan against Rambo.
Domine is directing a new effort to eliminate all local police departments in Nuevo León, including Santiago's. In their place would be a state police force that is better trained, better equipped, and even more important, better paid. Professionals, he hopes, that won't be corrupted.
How long before you think the cartels decide, okay, we'll start paying you more money?
In my opinion, my experience is a point in time that is not more money. It's your beliefs, your principles.
3 months after his death, a mass was held to remember Edelmiro Cavazos. He was one of 14 mayors murdered in Mexico in just the past year. In places where the cartels are in control, being a public figure means being a target. No one knows that better than Attorney General Alejandro Garza y Garza. His own brother, one of the state's top criminal investigators, was gunned down by a cartel 4 years ago.
We are on a war, all Mexico is on a war against the cartels. But in this war, the bad guys, they don't have any rules.